Coming up next,
Ed Kalegi and Karen Richmond. This is Chatterbinge.
This holiday, you can give St. Jude kids the greatest gift, a chance at a lifetime. Because when you support St. Jude Thanks and Giving, you're not just giving a gift. You're giving a child the chance to live life and celebrate every moment. And that's the greatest gift of all. Here to talk about it is the National Outreach Director for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. She is an actress, producer, and activist who in 2014 was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It is great to say hello to Marlo Thomas. Marlo, welcome to Chatterbinge.
Thank you so much, Ed. Well, I'm thrilled to be here. You know, there's a big time of year for St. Jude. We have our big Thanks and Giving program, and it's going on right now. And that's, we're out there now. It's such a gay time of year where we're shopping and buying food and presents for our family and friends. But at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, there are parents who are just thinking about how do I keep my child alive? And that's why we call this time of year Thanks and Giving. Give thanks for the kids in your life who are healthy and give to those who are not healthy. And the way you can do that is go to stjude.org. It's our website, and you'll be able to make a donation right there at stjude.org. Or it'll give you kinds of information about our partners. We've got food partners, restaurants like Domino's and Chili's and the Melting Pot, and they're going to ask you to add a little something to your bill for the children of St. Jude. And then there's K Jewelers and Home Goods and Williams-Sonoma and J. Crew and AutoZone and Pottery Barn. And they're going to ask you too. And so add a little something. Add $1, add $20, add 50 cents, whatever you can afford. But boy, do we need it. Because I don't know if you know this, Ed, but it costs us $7 million a day. One day costs $7 million.
Wow.
To keep St. Jude's Research Center and the hospital going. See, we have two huge centers. We are a research center and a hospital. And our scientists come from all over the world. They come from China. They come from Portugal. They come from France. They come from Poland. They come from everywhere. And we try to recruit the best at every disease, whether it's about the eye, the brain, the small soft tumor, the blood diseases. We try to recruit all the best. And they come to St. Jude excited because they know they're going to do their best work. We're going to fund their programs, and they can create new trials and new treatments to move immediately over to the hospital where a child has been sent there because they're just not going to make it. That's what we do at St. Jude. We are a collaborative synergy. My dad was so smart. He put these two centers under one roof so that every child has a scientist and a doctor under their case. And that's the excitement of St. Jude, and it's why it costs $7 million a day, because we don't have any paying customers. My father made a promise in 1962 when he opened St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. He said that no family would ever pay St. Jude for anything, not for travel, not for treatment, not for housing, not for food. And we have kept that promise. You know, when I go to St. Jude and I see these parents arrive with terror on their face that their child may not make it. And also terror about how the heck are they going to pay for it?
Sure.
You know, are they going to have to sell their house, mortgage their house, sell their car? Well, we take that burden away from them. What they have to do is just keep their spirits up and keep the children's spirits up so that they can get well. And that's the beauty of the place. And
it truly is.
My father used to call himself a proud beggar. I'm a proud beggar, too. I'm happy to beg for the children of St. Jude.
There is nothing wrong about that at all, Marlo. And it's amazing to me how this wonderful institution exists, as you mentioned, on these two tracks, as you have this research function that is constantly looking for answers, anything that could be possible, but also this foundational support for families. I'm a parent. My son is 22. He just graduated college. He is fine. I know people who have lost children at 9 years old because of cancer. And it's very hard for me to put me in their place because I don't understand. I saw the terror on their face. But when you go to a place such as this, where at least that part of the burden, because you have so much to deal with, you're worried about your child simply surviving. But for this foundational support to exist in this wonderful place, to me, I've always marveled at that. The idea that no family will ever receive a bill. And that is why this is so important for us to support. And I have always admired your father for what he did when he founded St. Jude in 1962. And I remember the story, how in the 40s, when your dad was struggling, he prayed to St. Jude Thaddeus and he said, "Show me my way in life and I will build you a shrine." You talk about paying it forward, Marlo. Your father did exactly that. And to think how this wonderful place exists all these years later and it thrives every single day.
Right. And it also came from his childhood. His family, his parents were Lebanese. They came to America with nothing. They had cloth sacks with their belongings in it. They were very poor.
Yeah.
And they lived in an immigrant community in Toledo where my grandma had 10 babies without a doctor, just her sister.
Wow.
And a lot of hot water. And the children in his neighborhood, other immigrant families, nobody got to see a doctor. Children in his family, and not in his family, in his neighborhood, died of things like influenza and appendicitis. Nobody should die from those things. And he realized that they only died because their parents couldn't afford a doctor. And when he wanted to make a shrine to St. Jude, he said, "I'm going to make it." He's patron saint of the hopeless. I'm going to build a place where nobody pays for anything. Of every nationality, every race, every religion is going to come to St. Jude, and they're never going to get a bill. And they never do get a bill for anything. We pay for treatment, travel, housing, and food, and we're honored to do it so that every kid has a real chance. And I tell you, it's a privilege to give these children a chance at life that they wouldn't have. Congratulations to you on your son's graduation from college. How exciting. That's the way life should be.
Yes.
Nobody should have to be struggling to keep their child alive, but it's a reality. We do, Ed, have to keep children alive that get death sentences.
Yeah.
I had an event here the other night, a fundraising event with the wonderful Drew Barrymore was my co-host. And a mom and dad were here. They're both doctors. The mom is a cardiologist. They had a 6-week-old baby, had a brain tumor.
Oh, God.
And they took out everything but 40% of the brain.
Ugh.
And the doctor said, "You can't do anything more. It's a 6-week-old baby. There's nothing else we can do for this baby." And she took it. They were doctors, so they had a lot of contacts. They took the baby out everywhere, and nobody would do anything for the 6-week-old child. They called St. Jude, and St. Jude said, "Come down. Let's try." And as she's talking, her 7-year-old daughter was in the room walking around. That was a 6-week-old baby.
Wow.
A 6-week-old baby who had a death sentence. And we can't save every child. No one can. But we try. And we tried with that child, and we saved that child.
That's right.
And that's the beauty, and that's the work of St. Jude.
That's wonderful. And the easiest way to donate is by simply going to stjude.org. Do your holiday shopping there. You can buy from these partners and make a difference. Add a little for St. Jude. Every little bit will help create happy endings, as Marlo just said. And as we head to a close here, Marlo, I have to bring this up. When I was 3 years old, I had a girlfriend. She was a struggling actress from Brewster, New York, living in Manhattan. Her name was Anne Marie. Again, I'm 3 at the time. I literally cut your photo out of the TV guide and put it in the little photo window in my otherwise empty wallet. And I know it's weird. I know it's strange. But all these years later, I feel I need to confess this now. And I feel so unburdened that I got that chance. So thank you.
I'll tell you something. Nobody had more marriage proposals from 6-year-old boys than I did. I had a lot of 6-year-old boys. Yeah, they did. Little boys were in love with that character. It was so cute.
Yeah.
So, but thank you. I'm glad that you're one of my little boys.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
And I am proud to be one as well. Once again, you can give St. Jude kids the greatest gift this holiday season by supporting St. Jude Thanks and Giving. Simply visit stjude.org now and make a true difference. Marlo Thomas, this has been quite an honor. Thank you so much for joining us here on Chatterbinge.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Take care. I did. I cut her photo out of the TV guide. No restraining order is needed. It was 50-something years ago. But I remember that, and I was quite smitten with her and that character and that show. And yeah, that little petite brunette actress from Brewster, New York made things happen for this 3-year-old. So there. But getting back to the main reason why Marlo was on. The work that is done at St. Jude is incredible, to say the very least. It costs, as she said, $7 million a day to run that place. And you think about the help that it provides. If you are a parent, just for a moment, put yourself in that place. It's not a place you even want to think about. Many parents have lived in that place. I know some. And not every ending is happy. But if we can do anything at all to increase the opportunity, so as Danny Thomas said, no child should die when they're still in the dawn of their life. That's why we need to help. I'm Ed Kalegi.
Great conversations happen here.
Chatterbinge.
Chatterbinge.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can always catch our best guest conversations and segments right here on the YouTube home of Chatterbinge.